Sonic Unleashed. Rated E10 for ages 10 and up. Game and system sold separately.
Okay. Before anyone decides to roast me for my trash promises, let me explain. So yes, I was supposed to review Even Stevens as the start to this new Disney Channel marathon. But I decided to push the marathon back to August because there's a few things I want to do before then. So I'll hold off on it for now. Plus, I haven't been able to do much because Geektoons wouldn't leave my place.
Hey Tim, you're out of chips.
Stay out of the pantry, geek! So what really made me want to talk about Unleashed was the Sonic Symphony they had a while back. And it was as beautiful as you think. Playing all the classic songs we all know and love. Hands down, my favorite performance was Unleashed, and of course, it made me want to talk about the game because Sonic Unleashed was the game I ought to go hell and back to defend. And to this day, I still kinda do. Fun fact, Sonic Unleashed was the game that got me into the franchise, and made me mad curious to try his other games. So yeah, of course I have a soft spot for this game. Sonic Unleashed was released in 2008, 2 years after Sonic 06, so it was kinda weird for them to introduce a new gimmick, the Werehog, after their last game. And before anyone decides to make fun of Sega for the name Werehog, for those who don't know, Were means man, so in reality, Sonic's name makes no sense. But here's something you don't know.
Shut up!
You guys knew what they meant, quit being asses. But anyway, once the game was released, the game was met with a bunch of mediocre reviews. IGN gave this game a lower rating than 06, which real quick, for any new viewers of this channel, just to let you know, if you like IGN, you should probably stay away from this channel. But nah, I ain't having it. Sonic Unleashed has the most effort put into it than many other modern Sonic titles. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys why Sonic Unleashed is the most ambitious Sonic game yet. But before I do, I had to talk about the mobile version. Yeah, for the few people who don't know, there was a mobile version of Sonic Unleashed, and no joke, it's unplayable. I played it years ago. While I finished the day stage, I couldn't finish the night stage. The buttons take up most of the screen, and the pixels are kinda ugly, especially when Sonic runs. I'm pretty sure you can download it still, but don't waste your time. Alright, let's get into the reason you clicked on this video. The game begins with Sonic and Eggman doing their usual thing in space. This opening is too clean, even to this day. We even get Supersonic. Come on, this game slaps. Once Sonic thinks he's won, Eggman traps him and drains the power from the Chaos Emeralds. Eggman also splits the planet into pieces, awakening Dark Gaia, and also turning Sonic into the Werehog. Eggman sends Sonic back to Earth along with the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic lands in Optos, and we meet Chip, who doesn't remember anything, so Sonic offers to help find someone who knows him. But once the sun comes up, Sonic turns back into his regular self. We search for a while, and we couldn't find anyone, but when the moon comes out, Sonic turns back into the Werehog, basically like a werewolf. Not only does Sonic turn into a Werehog, Dark Gaia minions come out at night. I don't feel like listing them all, so here's a picture of their names. We run into Tails, and after we save him, we head to Spagonia to talk to the professor. But he got captured by a whole pack of robots. But we head to Eggman's base in Missouri to save Professor Pickle. Once we take him back to Spagonia, we find out that this type of thing has happened before. And to bring the world back together, we have to travel to the Gaia temples and use the Chaos Emeralds to restore the planet pieces. And you can look at the rest of the game as that. We go through different stages to find Gaia temples, mostly happening after boss fights, and we slowly but surely bring pieces of the planet back together. But after the fight in Adabat, Chip regains his memories. His real name is Light Gaia, and his job is to stop Dark Gaia from doing what he's doing now. So they continue their journey to Eggman Land to restore the final Chaos Emerald. Once the final emerald is restored, Eggman pops in at the last minute and we fight him all the way down to the Earth's core. And our final fight is with Dark Gaia. Chip calls for the other Gaia temples, and they form the Gaia Colossus, and Sonic and Chip defeat Dark Gaia. But he gains his power back for a second round, turning into perfect Dark Gaia, and possibly the grossest transformation scene ever. Sonic turns into Supersonic, and Sonic and Chip defeats Dark Gaia once and for all. Chip sends Sonic back to Earth, but Chip has to stay to keep Dark Gaia at bay. But Chip gives Sonic a bracelet to remember him by, and after this game, we never see it again. Well, it's referenced in Sonic Omens, but don't play as Sonic Omens. But we look at the sun rising, and the game ends with Sonic running alongside Tails. I'm not sure how many people might agree with me on this, but this is definitely one of the better stories in terms of 3D Sonic games. It has a darker story, but it's nothing too complicated. It's more focused on Sonic's world adventure, the places he visits, the people he meets, and the game succeeds.
Everybody check it out, it's the blow up. Make way, make room, it's the blow up.
So there's two types of gameplay styles going on here. Daytime stages and the nighttime stages. Starting with the daytime stages, Sonic is back with, of course, speed, but we're also introduced to the boost. Before people went on to hate it in Sonic Forces, this was definitely something new, and I gotta say, I love the boost. It makes the stages more exhilarating to go through, and man, this is possibly the fastest I've seen Sonic go, and it's so fun to me. And the level design is so good, bro. They all have perfect length, and they also have great shortcuts and alternate pathways that actually help you get through these stages faster. I know one of the complaints about this game was that the stages were all boost to win, and there's a lot of do or die situations, and I can somewhat agree to that. I say somewhat because in terms of the boost to win argument, I disagree with that. The game wants you to learn the layouts for these levels, and once you learn the layout, speed is your reward. Like knowing when to jump at the right time, when to switch to the next rail, or even quick stepping. When you learn their levels correctly, it's satisfying to go through these levels. Now the do or die thing, I'm mixed on. I feel like they mostly happen when you're pulling out shortcuts, which again, if you know how to get through them, it's fine. But I will admit, Sonic Release sometimes pushes it. Like some of these do or die scenarios make me mad because it's like, what else am I supposed to do here? It's even worse for the Werehog, but one step at a time. It gets crazy in Eggman Land, which real quick, Eggman Land is the worst stage in this game, bro. At first I thought it was because me and my cousin just sucked at the game, but nah.
The game is too fucking hard!
For all the wrong reasons too. This stage is way too long, and there's a lot of things you can only react to in a short amount of time. Now this is a stage I'll say I can't beat perfectly. I got an A rank, but I died quite a few times. But besides that stage, the other do or die moments are easily avoidable when you learn the layout. And I love the fact that since this game replicates real world places, it makes the stages look so good. Aptos, Missouri, Huluska, Junon, Shamar, Empire City, Adabat, all these stages look gorgeous. And it's crazy how this game is over a decade old and it still looks this good. No, I'm not bringing up Forces again. That game gets enough hate as is. Even to the point on Twitter, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna make that joke. I even love the hub worlds. They're small and fun to go through. And this goes for both day and night stages. This soundtrack is frustratingly good. Like, it makes me so mad how good this soundtrack is. Like, listen to the opening. See? It's so good you don't even have to hear the whole thing. But man, the Werehog's music is honestly the best thing I've ever heard. Well, except for one, which in the Sonic Symphony, Premier to Remy wanted to hear it. Bro, he bugging, bro. This is only a joke. I don't want to get attacked by multiple Sonic fans for just telling a joke. I will admit that Sonic has some problems in terms of his controls. His jump's a bit off, his drift is a straight dookie, can't convince me otherwise, and sometimes these controls are unresponsive, which I really notice in the DLC, which yes, this game has DLC. And it's nothing but spikes and extra bombs. But not gonna lie, I still love the daytime stages, even with all its flaws. I still enjoy the speed you can get with these stages, and they're just simply fun to play, man. Okay, let's go to this guy.
I wanna run right now. I wanna lose on time. I got some
Yeah, so here's the reason why Sonic Unleashed was met with a whole bunch of mixed reception. And I think the Werehog is just decent. I will admit, when I replay this game, I don't really go to any of his stages because the Werehog stages go on for a bit too long. And yes, I understand that if you know where to go, you'll get through these stages pretty fast. But these stages are meant to be explored, so going through them quickly wouldn't be fulfilling. Folks were introduced to the Sun and Moon medals. Some are in the hub worlds, and you can find some through the stages. But it's impossible to do it during the daytime stages because you're going so fast and there's no way you're going to stop and explore your surroundings. So yeah, that's a plus for the Werehog. Now I mentioned the Dark Guide minions who will run around nighttime stages, but luckily for Sonic, he has a healthy amount of moves you can unlock, and yes, I can definitely say the Werehog is strong, and it's cool to see all the moves you can unlock. There's one move to where you can make Sonic do this cartwheel move, and it's cool to look at. I adore the music we have for the Werehog. It's some of my favorite songs in any Sonic game. The battle theme is just annoying. Since the game loves to throw enemy encounters at you every millisecond, you hear it all the time. And it's not like Kingdom Hearts where the battle theme changes when you enter a new world. It's the same one. I know I'm all over the place, but I have a problem with the Werehog's control as well. Yeah, his double jump can help in some cases, but most of the time it doesn't help that the Werehog doesn't have a drop shadow. So yeah, it leads to a lot of deaths. It mainly came from Eggman Land. I don't know what Sonic Team was smoking when it came to these pipes, jumping on them are a pain. Only that, those do or die things I mentioned earlier are worse here. There's not much defending I can do here, but I overall think the Werehog is decent. It has its fair share of problems, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a little fun. But still, don't plan on revisiting those stages that much. Another thing I want to mention is the boss fights, and I gotta say, they're pretty fun. Yes, I know the daytime stages are just boosting into the enemy, and they're not that hard to defeat, but I'm sorry, they're just fun. I love seeing things being destroyed in the background, and how epic the music is, and the werehog actually requires some skill. By that, I mean move fast enough so the bosses don't attack back, which isn't really a problem. These bosses are also pretty fun, and they don't take long to finish. Especially the Egg Dragoon. This fight is just great. The QTEs make this fight more epic, and the final boss has the most epic sounding music ever. But I have problems with it, like flying up to Dark Gaia takes too long, and you have to do it 3 times. Once Dark Gaia grabs Chip, Sonic races Dark Gaia's eye, which isn't too bad. And the Supersonic section really could have been something amazing, but the camera works against you instead of with you, and Chip takes way too much damage, so yeah, that sucks. But overall, a decent final boss. Yeah, we're not done yet. We got the Wii version to talk about. Okay, so this won't be long because the story's the same and the levels are the same. I think the Wii version is decent. I like how the Sun and Moon medals are handled here. Instead of going through hub worlds and exploring the stages, they're just rewarded to you depending on your rank, which definitely saves time. Speaking of hub worlds, those are replaced with these menu things, which I guess saves time. Speaking of stuff missing, Empire City is gone and Missouri only has the Egg Beetle, which I guess makes sense because they weren't important to the story. Getting to the stages, they're Daytime stages are okay because they feel so empty. Colorful, yes, but it feels like Sonic is the only one here. And they changed the boost, which isn't too bad because it's still pretty quick, so it's alright. Now the nighttime stages, at first I was going to compliment this version. The stages aren't that long, they're around 4 minutes. But then we get an Act 2, and a 3, and a 4, and even a 5. And we even got missions that are mandatory for both Sonic and the Werehog, and they drag like crazy. All of the bosses are the same, except for Dark Guardian, but they're all like the HD game, while adding a few new things. I mean, they're nothing special, but it's fun with massive air quotes. The final boss fixes the problems I had with the Gaia Colossus, where we get up close and personal with Dark Gaia and we just start swinging at him. And the Supersonic encounter just isn't as epic. It's simpler, yes, but it's just us collecting rings and waiting for the homing attack reticle to pop up while dodging attacks. This final boss is alright. Overall, I can say the Wii version is passable. I recommend it if you don't want a challenge. This is definitely the easier version, but just not the one I revisit often. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I love Sonic Unleashed, even with all its flaws I mentioned. It's such a fun time. I love boosting through these stages, I adore the soundtrack, and this seriously feels like it had a lot of effort put into it. The graphics surprisingly hold up, and yes, I'm aware the game lags like crazy, but it's nowhere near as bad as Sonic 06 on the PS3. And I'll even go as far as to say Sonic Unleashed is one of my favorite games, like, ever. And I'll always enjoy Sonic's world adventure. Oh my god, it's 3 AM, bro. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know what my next review is, but no, that's it. The video's over.